This system didn't fail where everyone was looking. It failed somewhere nobody was measuring, until everything slowed to a crawl. And by the time they noticed, it was already too late. Hidden bottlenecks don't crash systems loudly. They don't trigger alarms. They quietly steal performance, reliability, and trust until the system looks healthy but behaves broken. If you've ever scaled something that should have worked but didn't, this is probably why. When systems slow down, most people look in the obvious places: CPU usage, memory, network bandwidth, database load. And when all of those look fine, the assumption is simple: the system is fine. The problem must be temporary. That assumption is wrong. Every system has a bottleneck. That's not a bug, that's physics. The problem is that we tend to monitor what's easy, not what's critical. So we end up with dashboards full of green check marks, while one tiny component quietly limits the entire system. And because it isn't saturated in the usual way, it doesn't scream for attention. Imagine a simple system. Requests come in, pass through a queue, hit a processing service, and then write to storage. CPU looks fine. Memory looks fine. The database isn't overloaded. But the queue consumer processes messages just slightly slower than the producer. Not enough to fail, just enough to lag. At first, nothing breaks. Latency increases a little, then a little more. Retries begin. Timeouts increase load elsewhere. Engineers scale the wrong service. The bottleneck was never CPU. It was throughput, in a place nobody was watching. Hidden bottlenecks are dangerous because they create feedback loops. Slow responses cause retries. Retries increase load. Load worsens the bottleneck. From the outside, it looks like a sudden collapse. From the inside, it was inevitable. This is where teams lose days. They scale infrastructure, they add caching, they tune databases. None of it helps, because they're fixing symptoms, not the constraint. And every fix adds complexity, making the real bottleneck even harder to see. Here's the principle. A system does not fail at its weakest component. It fails at its most constrained flow. If you don't explicitly identify that constraint, the system will choose one for you, and it will not be the one you expect. That's why hidden bottlenecks are so dangerous. They don't announce themselves. They don't break dramatically. They wait. And when the system finally collapses, everyone asks the wrong question. Not what failed, but why didn't we see it?